You couldn't hit your own ball bag with your own wrinkled cock.
Jimmy! I sent you a cup of my blood. Did you get my blood? Jimmy!
You an official here? Because you have officially given me a boner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to DOB's 19th episode of WTF Podcast. What the fuck podcast? In fact, you should all be wishing us a very happy first birthday on this podcast. That's right, 1 whole year old, bringing you, and I'm doing air quotes that you cannot see, quality gaming news and entertainment. So this all started June 25th of 2012. So here we are, June 30th of 2013. Bringing more news and fun to you, to your ears. Of course, I'm your host, Two Steel, very old balls. I just had my 32nd birthday. And we've got a great episode for you today, including major DOB news, gaming news, updates, current events. And I have with me my impromptu co-hosts, The Inimical.
Hey, hey.
And Mood Elevator.
Hey, hey!
With his own theme song.
I'm just going to do a little bit of background noise in this.
And that's okay. As you're doing the background noise, just do it towards the emotion of how it flows with the podcast.
That's just the bullshit I like to hear.
Well, how are you, Mood? How are you doing?
Well, I'm enjoying myself. I've spent the last 4 hours or so with friends of mine making music, and then sporadically going outside into the park and blowing some shit up, as it is Canada Day weekend here, and I've had about 6 liters of beer or so, and a couple shots of whiskey, and a bit of stir fry, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, I must say.
Well, I see you.
Sounds like my day, except I walked outside, listened to other people blowing shit up and making noise, and whipped it out and pissed in the parking lot. Oh.
As long as somebody saw, that's all that matters.
Well, you can never be sure.
And how are you doing, The Inimical?
I'm doing good. Got back from a week of work in the good old Sacramento, California area, so got to go over there with that nice heat wave. Well, it wasn't quite as bad there, but it's all West Coast heat wave going on now.
I know. I'm feeling it here out in L.A. I'm doing fine. Just graduated with my bachelor's, so I'm finally done with college, at least for now. And just had a birthday and barely surviving in this heat here in Los Angeles. But Sacramento, that's only 500 and some miles away, man. Just we're getting closer. I
hop, skip, and a jump away.
I felt something. So you were getting closer.
One day you'll both be passed out in the same gutter, and it'll be beautiful.
Well, we've talked about it since at least starting in last October or November about.
Invasion?
Bastard Invasion, that's right.
Yeah, we need to really get going on setting that up. I really want to do that.
Let's get that ball rolling. Absolutely.
Got to find the right people that can get a venue going and get some people out.
Absolutely. Plenty of notice. And Vegas is close, and so I'll go ahead and just volunteer Vegas. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm down for Vegas.
Cool. The Inimical, let's go over some planned news. What would you like to share with us this evening?
Well, Mood's pregnant. He's having his first baby.
Woo! And Joger's the father.
Now, as everyone can see, there have been some changes to the website, minor things again. Oh, you know me, always changing things up. Also, the meetings, the Sunday staff meetings. There have been so many people that have had trouble making them, and then we had so many things going on in a row that we haven't had a meeting in probably a month. Ultimately, I decided to change the meeting times in light of the fact that I am going to church on Sundays now. Probably not any less likely to burst into flames, but...
It's not you, it's the church, dude.
But
He was talking about the church, you know.
That being said, because of that, I can't make the 11 o'clock central meetings, so I have pushed them back to about 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. And it's only mandatory for the platform directors because the time is a little more difficult for as many people to make. And then all the game directors will meet with their own staffs individually throughout the week and give the reports to me on Sunday with what's going on in the world, you know. So those changed, minor stuff. You know, trying to get more news on the front page, more information going. Other than that, we're just still going strong.
Cool. No, webpage looks good. Homepage looks good. Good colors, good graphics. Member of the month is back up on the lower right-hand side. You've got the winners at the bottom of the page. Media team is in full swing here. We've got 3 journalists and 2 graphics. So graphic artists. So we'll be looking forward to cranking out some goodies here shortly.
And one of the graphic artists being the former leader of the media team as of about a year ago that he must have gone down and gone into service, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Being Ghost.
Welcome back as Ghost. So, welcome back.
Yes. See Ghost if he lets you see him. You know, apparitions are very, very crafty that way.
Well, he only shows his quality parts. Peeking through a curtain.
Oh, you know, that's not the dick then.
Ah, jeez.
So, you've seen it, have you? Onto the gaming news, if we could. So, EA was just into my backyard here, right in my neck of the woods. And I'd like to present to everybody here a high-level highlights, particularly your gaming libido. The biggest news is Xbox One and PlayStation 4. 2 tough consoles going head-to-head in classic consumer battle not seen in 8 years. PS4 will be $100 cheaper, and it looks like it will be bringing better graphics and potential future applications and games not yet designed. Microsoft is definitely upgrading their system and mindset. They're focusing on one system to control them all. So there you go, Mood. There's your Lord of the Rings reference.
To rule them all. That sounds reminiscent of Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Yep, this Xbox will amplify your entertainment levels by controlling your TV, cable, satellite, vibrator, and any other bathroom accessories, and provide remote free accessibility. Both options are pretty cool. Can't wait to start reading our forum threads and surveys to see where our members are.
The One Ring. Mm-hmm. The One Ring to rule them all has to be the new
You're a little late on that, Lino.
Wow.
Wow. $30 a month.
Let's make a prediction. Let's make a prediction right now, and we'll come back to this in December or January. So let's make it a prediction. Mood. What is the majority of the clan going to be purchasing? PS3?
Well, it certainly seems like it's... Well, the PS3... majority of the clan seems to have the PS3 already.
I'm sorry, excuse me, PS4. Thank you.
But, yeah, it really does seem like the PS4 is going to be what most people are going to be picking up. It really does seem that. And based on my own deductions from a website that I normally buy games from, ebgames.ca, and various other forum posts and blog posts and that I've seen, it seems like us North Americans, got to encompass my country as well, sorry, but it seems like we're going to be getting it around about October 29th. I mean, there's a number of sources that are listing games being released, next generation games being released on that day for the PlayStation 4, mind you, and the actual console itself. And Media Mocked, the Best Buy of Europe, essentially. All European members will know this company, I'm sure. In Holland, last week, released a bit of promotional material, setups at their various locations that had listed the PlayStation 4 as being released on November 13th. Now that would apply for the European Union, for Europe in general. So, I mean, given the trend of things, usually it's about a week or two beforehand that North America gets the release. So if it's November 13th, chances are it's probably going to be around about the end of October, start of November for us. Cross fingers, you know. I mean, honestly, the $400 price tag for me, it sold me. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, this thing's going to be $800, $900. I mean, look at all they're offering with it. $400. I'm going to do it. I've pre-ordered. I'm set.
Ooh, even pre-ordered. All right. The Inimical, what is your prediction?
First, I want to highlight on the fact that, Mood, you completely butchered that question.
That's what I do best.
He asked what you thought everyone was going to get. I think
everyone seems to be getting the PlayStation 4.
I think that you're right. I think most people are going to get the PlayStation 4, and for multiple reasons. I know for me, Microsoft repealed the whole online thing, but for how long they sat there and tried to push that agenda and how much it took to get them to change that and their mindset with their games and production, it's going in a different direction than a lot of people would like, including myself. So I feel safer with the PS4.
Yeah,
I'll probably eventually get both, but I think I'll definitely start with the PS4.
Have you guys heard about the webcam feature for the Xbox One? The always-on webcam.
Off? Yes.
Yes. I don't like the idea of having anybody looking at me or even just looking at my apartment all the time. It's creepy. You know, I've got lots of creepy conduct that I engage in regularly, and I don't want anyone seeing that unless I decide to send them a video without their knowledge.
I was going to say you're only offended as if you don't actually receive funds for it.
I know. I mean, I should deserve them.
Absolutely.
I've got a crazy ex-Soviet party member, crazy Lithuanian guy who lives right next to me, who takes plenty of pictures of me and my friends coming and going from my building, so it's cool. It's cool. I think he's enough.
Not to get too far off track, but Samsung has already got televisions with a camera. You can Skype, but it's also on, and it will monitor you. So if you leave the room, you can set it up. It will pause whatever you're watching. So
I'm sorry, but I don't need a technology to monitor me. I can monitor myself. Thank you very much.
I think it's a little early. I think it's a little too soon. It's cool stuff, but just not right now.
Is that what they taught you in AA?
So, no, if my opinion is concerning, I do agree. PS4 is probably going to be the first one. I have not pre-ordered the PS4. I'm actually a little nervous about getting the first one. But I did see today, scanning through GameStop, the various options that you can get with the day one package. So pretty cool stuff, especially with Battlefield 4 limited edition and so forth. So some cool stuff that they're going to be offering. So let's talk about the PS4 a little bit. So again, very high level, some pretty cool features. That are related. Now, this is what really attracted me as something that's revolutionary for the PlayStation, is that you'll be able to allegedly record video and gameplay. So you'll be able to post and share something previously requiring a passive recorder or own an Xbox and enough technological knowledge to navigate to the streaming server. There's a lot more personalization with this unit too. It's coming preloaded with a ton of content, and when connected to the internet, will continue to update and provide entertainment entertainment advice and preferences. So very cool. But again, with that, if you buy the camera that comes with it, you can also allegedly set it up. It will. And I know they're going to be pushing not to what is the PlayStation balls? The little light balls. What the hell is that called?
I think it's the PlayStation Move.
The Move. Yeah. Is anybody on this call ever? Do you guys own the PlayStation?
I have
Move?
it. Yeah.
Nope. You got it. Have you used it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of game do you have?
It's all right. It's nice on some games. The only problem I have with it is if you let your arms down and rest for a minute, and you go too far off screen when you lift it back up, it's not aligned, so you got to recalibrate it again.
It's kind of a bang, but
yeah.
Anyway, so they're kind of going towards like a entry-level Connect, so you'll be able to. They're looking at some hand gestures and face recognition and so forth, and also video conferencing is going to be a big plus too for this as well. So
that'll be good for us too for the clan.
There you go, man. Hopefully they can do more. Remember we started out doing that on PlayStation?
Yeah, we did till we got too big and we couldn't get enough people in there.
Yeah, you can only get like 6 people on a call. So.
Yeah, fuckers.
Oh,
what did they say about the friends list for PS4?
Why can't they just charge us more?
That's something we should definitely need to be looking at. They've got to have more than 100 friends list. That'd be 100 friends. That'd be really nice. But so you'll finally be able to play as you download. That'll be kind of neat. So you don't have to be bogged up or limited to that application. Your smartphone will talk and control.
Yeah, but my only concern there is if the downloads are on a separate bandwidth than your actual game, because you don't have a PS3 limits your bandwidth to PSN.
Yes.
You guys are aware that the PS4 also, in order to play online multiplayer, it's a mandatory PlayStation Plus subscription, right?
Ooh, that's something I don't know.
It's going into an account similar to Xbox Live.
Okay, all right.
Which is fine by me. I mean, I don't mind.
I'm already paying for it. So
that really smashes to pieces like the
free
long time rhetoric of PlayStation users saying, "Oh, we're never going to have to pay for online."
To be honest, a large portion of PlayStation. Yeah, but to be honest, a large portion of the PlayStation community griped and complained about the level of support that PlayStation has in comparison to Xbox, so that's why they're doing it. We asked for it, so to speak.
Well, hopefully with that $50 a year, they bring value to the investment. So maybe they'll give us a bigger friends list. There you go. Your smartphone will now be able to talk and control your PS4. That'll be cool. There'll be an app for that. With the equipment installed, $400. That seems to be a bargain because it's got an 8-core AMD processor, a GPU with 1.84 teraflops, AMD Radeon graphics system with 8 gigs of RAM, and still equipped with a Blu-ray player. That's fantastic. So that is a very powerful machine, as Mood mentioned earlier. For $400, that should be almost at least $1,100 to $1,200 probably system if we were to go out and build one on our own. So.
Yeah, and that's if you're building it on your own. If you're going to get it pre-built for you, or if you're going to, God forbid, buy something from a company like Dell or Compaq, you're going to be paying something more along the lines of $1,500 to $2,200. But I mean, this is today. This is 2013. Granted, these consoles will last for 7-8 years, right?
Yeah, and that's that's what we're going to get at is too, is that they're building something to last. So. And as mentioned earlier, there's games and ideas that they're pushing developers to go to the next level, and the system will be able to support it. So I think Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, my goodness, to last 7-8 years. It's pretty impressive. So, all right, now let's talk about Xbox One. Sweet spot within the Xbox One, dubbed as the next generation TV and movie system. Xbox will overlay each attached component and allow seamless entertainment with all new Kinect to improve preciseness and motion technology, including watching when you leave the room, this is Ryan's favorite part, and pausing your program to include complete voice navigation again. So while you're watching your porn and you need to get up and get more tissue, it'll pause it for you. Isn't that nice?
It's like those Samsung telephones and shit. Yeah. Same thing's been going on for a while.
But now it's supposed to have true voice, they're calling it, true voice for navigation. So you'll be able to scream at your television to change the
You Americans and your desire for personal cleanliness, I just don't get it.
I don't even want to touch the remote.
Tissues, what the hell are those things?
Tissues. You just go right on the floor. So.
No, man, I've got long hair to soak it up.
That's fucked up.
Wow. So this thing is supposed to control...
Personal styling gel.
So it will control all the connected components, which I'll get into a little more detail in a second, because there's really only one connected component, which is still pretty cool. This unit is also packed with an 8-core CPU, and it's just dubbed as a Microsoft custom CPU. Alright, it's got a 500 gigabyte hard drive, so same thing with the Xbox One, come out with a 500 gig hard drive. Microsoft is coming out with a Blu-ray player, so that's good. It also has 8 gigs of RAM.
Finally!
Yes.
It's like watching the slow kid lick the window.
DDR3, mind you.
Yes, and but it is still a complete mystery regarding its GPU. Now, unless you've heard otherwise from WikiLeaks, there, Mood, I have not heard anything about the GPU for the Xbox One.
No,
I've not heard about the GPU, but we've seen demonstration of the graphics, and it seems like the Xbox One's graphics are going to be somewhere similar to where PS3's were. So they're still going to be behind PS4, from what I understand.
That's what I was concerned about. With that they're going to be a step behind. So now the couple websites when I was doing this research, they're still saying it's in development and they still may change it. Now I know that's partially bullshit because they're going to ship. No,
that's entirely bullshit. They've got everything set. They're in production now. It's too late to change that shit.
I mean, they're in containers coming from China right now. So so anyways.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of big surprise thing done by Microsoft saying, okay, well now you don't have to be online in order to
they already did come
keep
back
your games, and we're going to release it in September. They did rescind Sony really did kill them at E3.
They did rescind the online requirement after so many people complained.
Right.
But when it first came out, it took forever for them to finally rescind that, and they were basically saying, one of the Microsoft representatives said basically, well, if you're interested in something that doesn't require you to be online, we have that too. Xbox 360. It's like, thanks, dick.
Yeah. Well, they fixed that pretty quick, so. And if you look at the PlayStation website when they're describing PlayStation 4, they even mention highlights, keynotes from kind of countering what Xbox is. We're not gonna, you can use games. Don't have to be online and so forth, so. Cool stuff. Alright, so let's talk about some of the coolest games that I saw from E3 that are anticipated to be coming out here. Very exciting. So old and new platforms, some of them are going to be more leaning towards, obviously, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But Battlefield 4, very excited. Looks good. Definitely everybody read Josh's review of the alpha trial. The next is going to be Halo, which is coming out probably first quarter in 2014. There's got to be a Halo with their Xbox series. Call of Duty Ghosts will be coming out. In fact, if you're looking at pre-ordering either system, their GameStop and other retailers are offering bundles for Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, this one, Ryan and I are going to get excited. Mood, I'm not sure if you're a Star Wars fan, but
oh, yes, I am. Well, certainly.
Okay, good. Well, the next Star Wars Battlefront is coming out, and it's
really?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wait, what was that?
The next Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes.
Okay, this is like it's considered Battlefront number 3, but now go ahead and hold your cocks here for a second because it's developed by EA and DICE. Okay, they're using Frostbite 3 technology, and this game is going to be phenomenal. So there's only a little tickling little teaser from the E3, so it looks pretty good. And the next big one that I posted on my wall, my demo, that's going to be Xbox only. It's called Titanfall, which, as I posted, looks like somebody from Call of Duty slept with a Battlefield 2143 and had a Halo 4 baby. So this thing is awesome. It is a blend of Call of Duty. It's also made by Activision, but it's also got a really good Halo taste with futuristic, and it's got mechs that you can jump in and out of to conquer various objectives. So pretty cool. But again, that's only going to be on Xbox. Then we've got other anticipated games like Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed 4, The Division, which is a new Tom Clancy, Gran Turismo 6. Are either of you Gran Turismo fans back in the day?
I was. I quit playing
Gran Turismo 1 for PlayStation 1, but...
When did you stop the Nimico? When did you stop?
GT2.
GT2. I stopped at 5, played for... I don't know, 40, 50 hours, and just, oh man, it's just lame, and the online was just slower and shit. And
I can't play a game that's the same nonstop. Even, Call of Duty has lost its luster to me. And GT was even more monotonous because it was still, limited number of tracks, and you don't have at least with Call of Duty, you have, people doing different tactics and things like that. When you're driving around a track in the same cars the same way, it's kind of...
Yeah, it gets old really quick. So, all right, then you got Grand Theft Auto number 5 that'll be coming out.
Very excited for this.
I think it was September 9th. I think Diablo 3, that should be pretty good as well. Destiny, which has now even been Ryan, you and I last talked, it was pushed back to first quarter. Now it's into June, late June next year for Destiny. But
I'm okay with that as long as, I would rather than push it back and come out with a finished version than to do the same thing BF3 and other games have done and come out in such a rough form that it's painful.
Yeah, my only concern is they're having problems with it too. That can be a problem because a whole year from development, that means they probably got to be done by December to get it out by 6 months.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're having the same problems, at a general level because they're still going through with the project. If it was a big deal, they wouldn't keep pumping money into it. I think it's more of they're trying to get things done right, to be honest.
Yeah.
I personally prefer if developers take longer to actually produce the games and release them rather than just push them out when they're barely in beta and just to try and get sales. I'd rather that they push back the release date if it's going to improve the quality of the game. I don't like half releases. I'm not into paying a full $60 for a beta release.
No, I completely agree with you, and the three of us are all in agreement.
We all remember Medal of Honor Warfighter, right?
Well, for me being a little bit more of a novice, but even for Battlefield 3, I was just so disappointed. That was my first real biggest issue with patches, is patch on patch to fix development issues. So, anyways, that's the cap on gaming news. Cool stuff from E3, of course, very exciting. Looking forward to the coming releases, and we should probably get some forum threads going on to. If anybody's getting any specific the batched systems, like if they're going to get the BF4 PlayStation 4, or they're going to get the Call of Duty Ghost and so forth. So, anyways,
what about Valve's launch into console gaming with the Steam Box and Android's 2 consoles that they're going to be putting in for the 8th gen?
I honestly, if there was really if they were as anywhere near at the level of the other consoles, I think there'd be more news on it. So I'm thinking they're going to be a little behind the curve to where it's not going to matter much.
Well, the angle of the Steam Box and that sort of thing is more like, you can have your rig on elsewhere, but you bring your Steam Box to your friend's place and you can play, say, the upcoming Rome 2 Total War on your friend's television, which is really being streamed over the internet through your rig at home, sort of thing. That's really the angle that they're going for. So it's sort of a niche market, and Android's 2 consoles are really geared towards more of the casual gamers and those who are currently gaming on and began gaming on tablets and on smartphones and that sort of thing. So I don't. They're not actually attacking the big guys.
But they're definitely knocking at the door, and I think they've got probably another 7 or 8 years to develop for the next and get to start put a definite wedge into the market.
They're definitely dipping more than just one toe in the water.
Because think about it though. Think about it. If Steam is going to go outside of its PC realm and go play on somebody's television, you're crossing paths. Like there's not. The gamers, like you look at Call of Duty on Xbox. That's like the number one game. Halo and Call of Duty for Xbox. And if you blend them into from PC players, the blend isn't going to be as balanced. You're not going to have as many consumers as they're going to need to have a pretty good return. So, you look at us, Mood, and it's we're PC and PS3, but I'm very limited on PC, and so are you on how much we can upgrade. Yes. So, now the Steam box
PC's actually. It's even more of a niche to gamers than anything, because there's so many games and each one has to have its own little following. Even though it's all on the same. It's not a console, it's a PC, but whereas with console games, you don't have to worry about your rig being different or things being fair or unfair based on what you put into it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, well, let's move along here. If you guys are ready, let's move right into the ask your questions on WTF Cast. So we've got a few here. I'm gonna just go right off the top here from Josh. My beloved co-host, who has returned, he is asking how much do I really miss him. I miss him. In fact, I hope he's still getting my packages of vials of bodily fluids I send once a week, so to help rekindle our love.
8 different fluids. I don't even know how you come up with that many, but wow.
Oh, you heard 8? I said no, just bodily fluids. So just as many as I can. Just send them in vials.
Oh, you just stick them all in stick them all together, you know?
Yeah.
Or is it just a mystery vial? Like, what is this fluid?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And from Jamie Lambo, we've got, how are the shows like Honey Boo Boo and Jersey Shore affecting American culture? Or are they a fair representation of the masses? They are not a fair representation of the masses. I can clear that up.
I really, really hope not.
I think what it is they make us feel better about ourselves.
Yes. You
see how fucked up some people are, and you're like, oh, God.
Absolutely.
Well, at least I'm not like they are.
Yes. These shows should not bring down the American culture or be a cookie cutter of the American culture. It should be, we are so much better than what they're representing. So you're right. If you ever feel you're down, watch those shows.
From my perspective, have you guys ever seen Trailer Park Boys?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, if you want to see what Canadian hillbillies are like, that's what you should look at. I grew up around a lot of people like that, and I'll tell you, it's kind of disturbingly accurate.
Well, here, talking about accuracy, you know, Jamie
Sure.
continues. Jamie continues because he only thinks that Jersey Shore crap on MTV is called Georgie Shore, and it's by his home city of Newcastle. And since its release, it's become a phenomenon, which he's never even watched himself. But there's an extraordinary shift in the trends of people from Newcastle. It's gone from being an entertainment program to almost like a documentary. So, yeah. That's you all right there, Mood?
I really feel better about Americans now.
Yeah, you can be the only one then. Yeah, well, my experiences in the UK is that they certainly like to drink, and lots, and they're friendly. But my God, although Newcastle Brown Ale is a very delicious beverage, and I certainly can't put it down. Although I've never been to Newcastle.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Here's another one from Josh. Does anyone else have this issue when you're done giving it to some girl in the ass? When you pull out, it sounds like a cork coming out of a wine bottle.
No. I've never heard a pop, not once. I mean, personally,
I think Josh is mistaking the cork sound with the guy opening the wine bottle behind him. Because with him, I'm pretty sure it's more like you don't hear anything. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Well, you know, he's always secretly got somebody watching.
Like parking a bicycle in an airplane hangar. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't have that problem. Well, to answer that question, I don't have an issue. But thanks for bringing it up, though. I definitely, I'm going to pay more attention to my love sounds.
One thing that you certainly cannot mask in such a situation, and that is the scent.
Okay, thanks for bringing that up. Awesome.
Well, I'm just trying to be a friendly reminder.
So, Mood, come on, man. I think you and I are about the same age. I think you should be having incense going on, and just anyways, we're moving forward. If you were a writer of an adult video, thank you, Josh, by the way, what would the title of your picture be? What would the title of Mood Elevator's adult picture be? Uncorked?
I'd say soft and hairy certainly beats short and prickly, or soft and hairy, and you'd have that little better than sign, greater than sign, soft and hairy, greater than short and prickly. That would be my title. That certainly would be, and the content would shock you all.
I can imagine.
I'm actually a little disturbed right now, actually.
Well,
I think on that note, we can move on to the next question.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. And that actually concludes this podcast. I thought we'd leave it on such a fantastic note. But unless anybody else has anything else to bring up here, the inimical?
Yes, actually. I just want to get your guys' opinions about some of the shit that I've seen this week. You know, I work and I travel, and, you know, when I'm in a hotel, I always get a newspaper first thing in the morning, and, you know, I'll sit down and eat my breakfast and read a little bit of the newspaper, and some of the things I see are just disturbing. I mean...
Like what?
Well, you know, for one, the direction that America seems to be going. Did you see the whole California thing where the federal government overruled the law that they voted on?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that by the Constitution that states' laws come before federal laws in relation to you know, these types of civic laws. And, you know, they voted that not to allow gay marriage, which I personally don't care about. It's not that. The issue for me is that they overruled their state's ruling on that and said, nah, well, you know, and the Supreme Court said, fuck your law, we're overriding it, and we're allowing gay marriage. When the state, so what's the point of voting? What's the point in having a say in the law if you can just be overruled by the federal government?
Well, my knowledge of what America is supposed to be about, this is what we're taught in schools about our giant elephant to the north, is that you guys have more representation on your state level than on the federal level. Always, always, always. That's supposed to.
We're supposed to, yes.
But based on what I've seen in the media, growing up, since I was 12 years old, it seems that the exact opposite of what goes on.
It's because people in power have been abusing the law and making it so that they can do what they want to do versus what the Constitution was created for. So it's a simple abuse of the system is what it comes down to.
Well, I kind of disagree a little bit because it comes down to originally it was a vote to the people, and is it constitutional? Okay, it started at our level. Is it constitutional for the masses to vote on somebody's preference? You know, that's what it comes down to. And honestly and personally, I'm either way. I really don't care. I'm actually okay with gay marriage. I actually don't have a problem with it. And it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. It's a personal preference. It's not a law. It's nothing. But I'm not a God-fearing man, and I wasn't grown up with.
Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter, though. That's the thing. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, because I don't care either way either. But the simple fact that the federal government has been exerting its force in so many ways, and you can't get away from the federal government, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. They shouldn't. They do. In fact, it's not a matter of whether they should or shouldn't. They do not have the authority to override a state law, and that's in a civic.
It's supposed to be designed. Yeah, it's supposed to be designed so that if a state is in deadlock, that the feds can come in, or if the state is making decisions based on federal law, the feds still need to probably come in and make a decision.
Right, but when it comes to, I'm talking about civic law in specific. In civic law, it should not, the federal government has no say in a state's ruling. It's just like the thing with legalizing pot, you know.
Yeah.
The federal government technically has no authority to come in and override state law, and that's why for so long, even though they try to enforce it, they can't really run and enforce in California on a federal level. That's why there's still medical marijuana places and things like that, because they don't have the authority to do that. When it comes to civic law, they don't have the authority to override a local ruling. Now, you can go either way on whether or not that local ruling was fair or right or whatever, you know, at that point.
Right.
But federal government should not have, they're exerting their force in a lot of ways, and they're taking away a lot of our freedoms in a lot of ways. So it's getting worse and worse from what I see.
No, I can agree with you on that point, and that comes to I think the feds should be focusing more on a country scale, not on a regional or a state scale, as you mentioned. For example, how about our borders, protecting our borders and controlling on immigration? If they focus the resources on developing laws and controlling that way on a more
I suppose
larger scale, it would make a lot more sense.
All right.
If I could have a moment to express a couple seconds of external banter, I'd truly appreciate it.
Feel free.
Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Well, one thing that I really love about the integrity of you guys, I think it's just wonderful, and I see the impact of the opposite perspective here is that you guys still maintain and have within your subconscious the idea of the American melting pot. I think it's brilliant. I think it's wonderful, and I think it's great. It maintains your culture. It enhances your culture, and I don't think that it's something that should be debunked in any way. We have the exact opposite perspective, and I fucking hate it. It's pardon my French, pardonnez-moi français, but I simply do not. I don't agree with it. I mean, here we have the multiculturalist perspective, which was created by our Prime Minister in the 30s, Robert Borden, to essentially create more recognition for the culture of immigrants than the culture of the country. And we promote it very, very strongly here. You know, come to Canada and you'll maintain your culture. You don't have to be Canadian in any way whatsoever. So we have very, very little idea of our national identity. Well, you guys have this very concrete idea of what it means to be American, whereas, you know, what does it mean to be Canadian? You guys can't define that. Well, we can't fucking define it either. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much all it means at this point, unfortunately. I mean, that, and, you know, we drink lots of beer and we smoke lots of weed, and, you know, we generally don't, you know, hurt each other very much. We're overly polite and all that, but I mean, that's not really cultural.
Unless you're French Canadian.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Canadians, not Canadiens, or rather, I am not a Canadien, I am Québécois! I am Québécois! We deserve to have our own country! We have our own country, yet you still pay us subsidy! Will you still pay us this subsidy? I can't believe it. You know, we've had these riots, these protests from university students in Quebec because their tuition fees are going up. Yet their tuition fees are lower than any other nation in the whole fucking world. Yet, you know, they're going to have riots because they have to pay an extra $100 a year. It's terrible. It's horrible.
$100 a year. Try what happened in this country. Moving on, another topic here.
That was banned.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Congress basically knew they had to make a decision on setting the rates for college loans and such, which I don't know if you're aware of the laws, but basically the way the law works is you cannot file bankruptcy against a loan for school. So if you have a loan...
Really?
Yes. So you cannot... While bankruptcy laws exist, it doesn't get you out of school loans. So they knew that they had to make these laws and make these rules before they closed the session. And instead they decided to go on vacation and say, fuck the laws. And the rate of the percentage is going to basically double. Not just increase, but double.
Oh, my gosh.
And so there are going to be a lot of students that either are just not going to go to school, and the semester is going to be empty, and schools are going to lose a lot of money, or they're going to go and they're going to incur a significantly higher loan rate.
Wow.
Than anyone else.
That's a great way to demoralize.
That blows my mind, man.
Because they decided their vacation was more important than taking care of an important law that had a deadline.
Oh God!
Just like with your student law,
you can't pay your student loans. If you go bankrupt, they're gone. You know, here if you don't pay your student loans, you're not even going to have debt collectors come after you. I mean, you can't even legally declare bankruptcy if your debt is as a result of student loan. I had no idea. I didn't know this at all. I know that you guys pay a huge amount more for tuition, but wow, that's awful. I'm.
All right. Well, fantastic. Well, on that note, I would like to thank our very special co-hosts, the Inimical and Mood Elevator.
Yeah.
Right. And the smooth sounds of the Mood Elevator.
Oh, yeah, you'll hear the little bits and pieces. I've been playing through this whole thing.
And, yes, as your host, Two Steel Balls, signing out. Actually, one thing before we leave, we are going to be hitting July 4th, our Independence Day here in the States, and do want to thank all of our veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. So, thank you very much.
Hey. Tomorrow's Canada Day. We thank all of our drunken, foolish Canadians for going off and killing themselves in the First World War and Second World War. So, yes, I've got to include that thing. My grandfather lost an arm. He did, although it's very unlikely that he did. He was actually a major in the RAF, but he managed to, and it was for all of our sakes, supposedly. So... Yes, remember us all, and shoot off many fireworks and blow as many things up as you possibly can, because that's what. With
the exception of yourself, if at all possible.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, that's your opinion. All right, fine. I'll take mine and put it aside. It's separate from yours.
Also, I think it's a good thing to bring up the Wounded Warriors Project. I know a lot of members probably have even forgotten that we support the Wounded Warriors Project, but we do. And, in memory of those men and women, if you guys are up for it, don't forget to visit and donate to Wounded Warriors.
Absolutely. I'm actually a volunteer, so I'll be signing up for the LA chapter.
Yep. DOP officially supports them. By the way,
Very cool. All right. So, this is a great episode, guys. Thank you both for joining me, and
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Mood, for the stimulating conversation. I did enjoy it, and same thing, the Inimical. And you guys take care, and we'll be back with episode 20 very soon. So, Two Steel Balls signing out. Thank you very much.
Mood's pregnant.
Oh my God.
Why did you tell him? I was waiting till the right time.
And it's your baby. Who would have known swallowing semen would get somebody pregnant? Of the podcast, so. All right.
Tasted salty and sweet and just chunky in the right way.
And it's gooey right where it needs to be. News. So I missed it on the paste.
Who's Colin?
Let's add. Not burning when you pee, okay, Adrian? I know you're used to that one, but
you get used to it. It's when you don't, it doesn't burn. That's when you get nervous. You wonder if there's
things are okay.
Oh my God, something's changed. What have I done? Absolutely.
I told you that girl was dirty.
And hold on, I gotta beat the pussy from eating the curtains here. Okay.
Did she have to have a couple ribs removed?
What the fuck? I don't know why she's eating the curtain. What the hell? Anyways, that's not a metaphor.
It feels good.
But
too bad. It already is now.
I know.